going to cover two things today. I've got my rhythm section. Oh, what? Not important. What's important is I got the great guitar, the tone, and once again I've got the phone sitting on the guitar amp. Because what you hear is the most important part of this video. No point hiding my amazing tone way back there or running it direct. I want you to hear it from the amp because the topic today, this month, this week, is tone. Like how do we get to Prince's tone, Sly Stone, James Brownstone? So James Brownstone, he's from Boston. So the question is from one of my avid subscribers, kid, is, do we go with clean? That, or do we add a little bit of dirt to it? Now, for reference, without all my noodling and then a pause, dirty, clean. It's got a little bit of edge. You know what? I'm going to turn the reverb all the way off. That's right. In the South, we call it the reverb. It's not the reverb, not the rave. It's the reverb. Just like when you're building a building, you use the rebar. But my point is, now I got it nice and dry. You can hear it kind of there. See, you hear how there's a little bit of grits in there. I prefer that myself because that it covers up some of the variance in volumes, because distortion basically just takes your waveform and says, let's cut it off here. So all the high bits that's perfectly clear and everything, distortion just cuts that part off, and then we take this wave and turn it up even more. So when you go as super distorted, it's crunched down, and then that part is turned all the way up. Crunch down, lock that in, and then stretch that out. That's how we get distortion most of the time. So I gotta have some verb in there or else Daddy's gonna be sick. Gotta have some verb, you know what I mean? For those of you that are new to guitar and just wanting to know about it, most of the videos talk about how to play the guitar. They don't really spend a whole lot of time on how to make it sound as wicked. And I'm so obsessed with getting this guitar to line up with the edge of that painting, which is a really dark painting that it's a long story, but it's one of my favorites. So anyways, what I've been listening to lately, I don't know if you saw it, Prince has a new song out. He's dead? I know, right? Don't Let Him Fool You. Oh, it is awesome. And of course, because of copyright and YouTube takedowns or whatever, I'm not going to play it, but you look it up and it's... So, we'll do that, and I got my drums. What? You got that? So, what we're doing, this is the second part. The first part was the tone. I believe I've covered that. There's just a hint of distortion, clean. That's more like the Kiss tone that is perfectly clean. But if you go back to 1999, which is 2 albums earlier, and really, in my opinion, Prince's sickest funk is going to be from Dirty Mind up to Sign of the Times. That's where he totally... Dirty Mind was where he's like, I'm going to do my own shit. Sign of the Times was where it's like, I've done my own shit. Oh, look, there's samplers. Let's make Bat Dance. Or maybe it was before that one. I don't know. But Bat Dance was sort of the... all right, now we're going to use computers to replace me recording all this stuff one at a time. But that's a long conversation. Some people love his latest stuff. I love his last albums. But that's when I think of perfect Prince, it's going to be Dirty Mind, Sign of the Times. What's right in the middle? Purple Rain. I know. Leave me alone. So, or 1999. And this song, Don't Let Him Fool You, is straight off of the 1999 session. So they say. I don't know. I never heard of the song before, so it kind of surprises me. But, so it's a... amazing chords are you playing, Bo? That'd be E flat 7th, and then G sharp, A flat major. So E flat 7th. Normally that would be E. But the song is in this. I'm not teaching you the chords. Other people teach you the chords. What I'm teaching you is how do I lay in this sick ass rhythm? Because he's doing a whole lot of snatches. So it's like you see how one of those is the downward hit, and that's the one, one, and then you snatch it up 3 beats later. 1, 2, 3, and there's that whole swing thing. So it's not ba 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 ba. It's a little bit of chaka 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 chaka. I don't even know if you can hear me over the guitar because it sounds good. That's the clean. That's the dirty. Did you notice when I stepped on that where the perfect highs, the highs and the lows are suddenly cut off and they're distorted, as you would say, right? So there's 2 things, and I know in the last video I said I'd cover linear one-note funk. It's still, it's all in this hand. This hand, it's remedial. You could just, the whole thing is hit, pull it, hit, snatch it. How am I doing that? I'm pushing. These 2 fingers go. So. So you get that kind of like when you're playing the horn. Right? So here we go. Let's throw some kick to it. Oh yeah. There we go, Bobby Z. Thank you so much. So there it is. That's the whole. Some people go, and those people I call idiots. You heard me. You heard me. Idiots. You don't. Funk guitar is like blues guitar. It's raw. It's primitive. It's like. Man, I didn't take no classical guitar to learn to go. I picked this up because I spent my days as a youth dancing and banging on drums and desks and irritating teachers and stuff. So don't give me no. Those are downstrokes the whole time. These are. There's that pop. So it's what? So what we're doing there, that's your blues pentatonic. You guys are lucky you're hearing me on fire tonight. So that's E flat major. So, and in case you're wondering, if you look at the pickup selector, it's both pickups, because when we go with just the bridge, it's a little too Jimi Hendrix. It goes too far into rock. And if we go to the bridge pickup, which is just this one, that's too nasally. That gets me too close to country music and Beatles. or, you know, your favorite guitar player, funk guitar player that uses the neck pickup or the bridge pickup, and you're going to prove me wrong in the comments, and I'm okay with that. Why? Because this is my video telling you what I think about it. What you think is just as important when you make your own video. Ah! I'm just kidding. Some people say I take it too far. And those people I call former employers. But enough about me. Another thing I do that you notice is I'll like hit it and then use this part as the snare. I hope some of this makes sense. All right, the last thing is to tell you about the update on the sweetest guitar. This is really, I really am enjoying this guitar that I got for 160 smackaroos. That's right, what, $160,000? No, 160 bucks. This thing is off of a website, toman.de, THOMANN.de. It's a Harley Benton, which obviously it wants to be Fender or Honor, which made the Fender Telecaster copy from where Prince bought it, and they're clearly marketing this. You know, they're not calling it the Prince wannabe, but I do. So the one last thing I want to point out about this guitar is the strings are neck through the body. You see these. But when I went to change the strings, you can see only 2 of these I ended up using. The rest of them are going through here now. And why is that? Because they drilled the holes straight in and then drilled a much smaller hole for the string to go through. So when you're trying to thread it through, it was constantly getting stuck and not coming through the itty bitty hole. And I was like, ain't nobody got time for that. So I went ahead and went through here. I don't know if that's a design flaw or if that's the way they were built back in the 60s. It could be totally true to the original and I just don't know that. But luckily they have the bridge where there's holes. You can put your strings through this way or through the body. I always thought strings going through the body were just wicked badass because it certainly made it sound better. Have you heard a difference in the strings that went through the body versus the ones that went through the bridge? These are the ones through the body. These are through the bridge. It doesn't change it by much. I mean, literally, I can't tell the difference. But I'm also not no classical trained guitar player. I do the funk. You know, I've rambled enough. I've talked about your amp settings. Get a little bit of dirt in there. Tube screamer would be another way to do it, where it just puts a little bit of in there, just enough. So to me, funk guitar is a replacement for the horn section that you don't have. According to Nile Rodgers from Chic, funk guitar is a replacement for the drums. According to James Brown, let's pretend, I'm making that up, but the funk guitar is like it's more of like using a cowbell. I'm still obsessing over this line versus this line. Oh, that's just the OCD in me is going nuts over there. Look at that. Oh, it's just 7 degrees off. But funk guitar is much more about the percussion side of the music. You're the shaker. You're not shaker, but there's an instrument called a shaker. And then you're the cowbell. You're the snare. You are not the piano. You're not the orchestra. Again, according to my world, you may be screaming at my video right now, and I wouldn't blame you. I've seen plenty of videos where somebody said, I like ice cream because it's the ice of cream. And I'm like, no, it's the sugar of heaven, or I don't know. So that's all I'm going to cover because I'm trying to keep these as informal as my brain can allow because planning ahead tends to make a really boring video. Let's pretend. So there you go. I'll play it out. Come on, Bobby Z. Huh? learning funk from your old Bart. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. Subscribe, like, follow, click the bell, ding the rocker, hit the cowbell. There, is that it? We're done? Nope, still going.